Today we're taking a look at a lightsaber designed for royalty. Let's get at it.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
I recognized your foul stench when I was brought on board.
I don't know who you are or where you came from. From now on, you do as I tell you, okay? I love you.
I know. Leia.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Collector's Outpost. I am John. So today we're taking a look at a lightsaber that honestly I wish had more screen time. Probably one of the biggest problems with the sequels is that we didn't get to see a lot of flashback scenes. Now we did get that one really cool flashback scene of Leia training with Luke, but I do wish we had a story in there or even a new Disney Plus show, honestly, that will tell that story of those flashback scenes, more interactions with Luke and Leia training, more of just Luke being, you know, that powerful Jedi that we saw in The Mandalorian and Boba Fett. Now, one of the biggest issues I had with the sequels is that it started off good. I actually do enjoy The Force Awakens for the most part, but the biggest letdown, especially Force Awakens, is that we unfortunately lost the opportunity to ever have all of the main original characters on screen together, filling in those gaps of all those years that have gone by, maybe reflecting back at some of the days to bring in more of those flashback scenes. Obviously, Leia's lightsaber is based on the design of Luke and Obi-Wan's design. It's got that same thin neck, that same layout, but they took that extra step and gave her a lightsaber made for royalty. And I do think that this lightsaber does reflect Leia in all the best possible ways. It's got beauty, it's got power, and that is what Princess Leia, even as we know as a child, she had her own voice, her own thoughts, and her own power, and she went for it. And I do feel like that's what this lightsaber represents, and man, do I wish we had more scenes with this lightsaber, because we don't really ever see it in action besides that one flashback. So we are taking a look at the Princess Leia lightsaber. This comes over to us from my friends over at CCSabers. I'll put a discount code and direct link down below if you want to check this out and pick one up for yourself. This is the 89Sabers version and it is installed with the brand new Profi v3.9 OS 7. But before we dig into this beautiful saber, please, if you are new here, drop down, hit that like button, subscribe, and notification button for upcoming videos. I've got a ton of lightsabers coming up and 6-scale figures that I'm sure you're going to want to check out. A lot of them are all Star Wars. I think I have a few Batman figures coming in as well. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for hanging out. Let's dig into this unboxing. So let me start here since I already have this out and I assembled this already. It does come in 4 different pieces. You have the 2 sides, the bottom, and the front plaque here. So you just have to screw those in with the little provided Allen screws there. But again, these, you know, as always, 89Sabers does have some of my favorite sabers. They're nice clear acrylic and they just look like museum pieces. That's one thing that really always catches my eye about the 89Sabers displays. Now let's dig on in. We obviously have the beautiful Princess Leia lightsaber. It's got that kind of, what do you call this? Like a peachy rose gold kind of color to it. Super nice. This is actually my 3rd Princess Leia lightsaber, and it's probably the nicest one. I do have a Disney one and another version from TXQ. Maybe I'll, at some point in this video, I'll bring them all out just so you can see them side by side. But this is by far the best quality, the best feeling version. I love the aluminum and everything on here. There's no sharp edges, even though it looks like it should be sharp edges, but this is stunning. I absolutely love this. And in traditional 89Sabers flavor, we do have the suede bag it comes with. We do have the CCSabers really nice gloves. And over here, I did get a couple of these extra Allen screws for the stand here and a couple of Allen keys there. And we do have the Allen wrench there for the blade itself. And we also have our USB battery charger. Over here, you do get a green envelope, and CCSabers has printed out all of the Profi instructions for you, so do check out both of these pages. If you have Profi, most of them are all the same. There looks like there's just a couple things that are slightly different from the older version of Profi. But again, this will all come down to how your Profi board is programmed. This version may be different than the version you have or you program for yourself or something you bought from another company, but it'll at least give you the idea of how to work through your 89Sabers Profi from CCSabers. And it does come with a beautiful pixel blade. Now in this video, I am using my own blade. This is the Quad Star blade from Civilized Sabers. It's just one of my favorite blades to use in the 89Sabers, but you will get your own blade included in your package. So here is Princess Leia's lightsaber. Now again, this is probably one of the most beautifully designed lightsaber. It's elegant and yet has so much feel and memory and nostalgia because we've seen this design in some way, shape, or form before. And by seeing this design before, I mean by, you know, it is inspired by who came before her. So it does look just like Luke's lightsaber. It's just embellished on a little bit more of that design. And obviously before Luke came Obi-Wan. So this is episode 4's Obi-Wan, and that has the same inspiration that Luke has. Technically, in the real world, Luke's lightsaber is Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber. They pulled the stunt saber from Obi-Wan, and they wound up using that as Luke's lightsaber. And that's a whole story on its own because it's got like 4 different versions and in, you know, resin cast versions. So Luke's lightsaber is its own novel all on its own. But just looking at these side by side, you can see where the inspiration for Leia came from. You know, she just based hers on Luke. It's got that same wind vane style thing, it's just flipped upside down. We've got the thin neck here. Same thing with Obi-Wan, we've got the wind vane. Got that newly designed emitter section, which I really do like that a lot. We have all the lights and everything that shine through there. And instead of the control box, which I really like, because sometimes these control boxes do get in the way, they designed this whole really nice grip section here, which is very, very comfortable to hold, by the way. And then along comes the prequels, where we do see a different version of Kenobi's lightsaber. But then in episode 3, we do finally get to this version. So technically, this would be the order we would see them in timeline history. We would have episode 3, and then the Kenobi series, and then episode 4, and then Luke bases his lightsaber off of Kenobi's lightsaber, and then Leia bases her lightsaber off of Luke's lightsaber. So just right here is a full generation of lightsabers, let's say in the Jedi family. It's beautiful. I mean, look at this. This is absolutely beautiful. So right here in the middle, we do have the 89Sabers versions that we're taking a look at. And then we do have a TXQ version. And then we do have the Disney version.
That is one big pile of shit.
It does look quite a bit more toyish, and it is kind of heavy. It's very, very close, as you can see. You know, they have more of this matted kind of almost plasticky looking metal, but it is solid metal. However, when you do install a blade, this whole neck changes. You have to pull this whole neck off. So this is always the huge problem with thin necks and Disney. So you originally get this really nice neck, but then you've got to put on this snake that looks like it swallowed a rat, and everything over here is all swollen, which is obviously one of those things I don't really like about the Disney sabers. And now here is the TXQ version. Now this is also a Profi. It's a 2-button Profi. We have a side auxiliary switch there and a power button there. Now the thing with this version here, I reviewed this about a year ago. It's very good, without a doubt. But I don't like, after a little bit of use with it, I found that right under here, these are very sharp. These connections, these like little bridges to the emitter there, those are very sharp. I actually cut myself once on those. And I also don't like how the blade plug sits. You can see it kind of stands out, and it shouldn't actually poke out. Problem being, I'm not sure if you can really see it in there, is that the NeoPixel pins right there they're actually placed kind of high in the neck. You know, they're actually in this bottom vent window there, if you could see that in there. And that doesn't really allow the blade to get all the way down to the base of the emitter. But anyway, we're not really here to talk about either of the other ones. I just know a lot of you like the comparison videos because either you have one or you're looking to get one and you're looking at a couple different versions. If I have them, I like to show them while I'm reviewing another one. This, I think, by far, as always, 89Sabers just comes out on top with the quality and the design and everything. So this again here is a Profi. The one thing on this that you may notice here, just like I was pointing out, is that these NeoPixel connectors do sit down in here. So the blade will go all the way into the bottom, and the retention screw is actually in the same spot, but it sits really nice with the blade because of its position with the pins being so much lower. These little bridges over here that connect to the emitter here, these are all nice and smooth. Now this is a 2-button Profi. We have the power here, and we have an auxiliary kind of designed into the body itself. It does come with a very nice Princess Leia style blade plug, and it is translucent, so it will light up. You have some great shine throughout the whole emitter. Absolutely love this about Leia's lightsaber here. Just a stunning, stunning emitter design. It's so simple, it's just a few rings. This is a fully removable chassis. Right on the back here, we do have our kill switch. That way, when you're done, you can just flip it off and really preserve your battery power. You flip that on and you'll see that pulsing green light. That means you are in the Profi V3.9 board. Flip it on over, you have your battery and you have a couple of activation buttons there, a couple of LEDs. Now, just like all the 89 Profis, we have the pin connections there. So you want to line that up with your button. You're gonna put the Profi up. There is a missing pin. You can see it's that dark section right there. That is gonna have a matching port on the inside. So you just wanna line that up. Put the Profi board facing your activation button here. And you're just gonna slide that in. If it's lined up correctly, just pops right in. And there we go. And also just one more thing that I just noticed, side by side, this is the TXQ version. The 89Sabers feels just a little bit nicer in hand. It's slightly thinner as well and slightly lighter weight than the TXQ version. All right, we've got our flash on clash. Sounds very nice. And we have some really nice, kind of hidden ventilation over there. It's kind of like in the creases there. So this sounds really, really nice. We got our blasters. We've got lockup. We've got our little force effect sound. Let's flip through some of the sound fonts.
That lightsaber was Luke's. Master Qui-Gon.
We do obviously have twist on and twist off.
A Mandalorian and a Jedi? They'll never see it coming.
All right, so if you hold the auxiliary for about a second, right, you're gonna get that blaster sound. What that's gonna do is put the saber into like a multi-block mode, where anytime you move, it's gonna basically deflect the sounds. So, and then you can turn it off by doing that again, hold the auxiliary for about a second. Now there's a couple different ways you can flip through the sound fonts. You can hold it up and then hit the auxiliary button. If you want to go back, you can flip it upside down and go backwards. But let me show you this other way, which you can hold the auxiliary while the blade is off. Hold the auxiliary for about a second, and then it's going to go into a blade preset mode.
Select preset.
All right, and then all you have to do is just twist.
Lord Vader. I'll never. Scene C. Smooth Jedi.
And if you go back the other way, you just go back.
Scene C. I need a. I'll never join you. Lord Vader.
And then when you want to select it, just hit the power. Now to change the colors around, you're just going to hold auxiliary and then click power. And that's basically going to, you're going to get that beep and you're going to go into color mode and pick whatever color you want. Let's go to red for a second. Set it in by holding power. All right, so you have that. Now the only problem with that is once you leave the font and you come back,
That lightsaber was Luke. I'm a Jedi.
it defaults back to its original color. Now, I do believe if you know your coding or if you're going to learn Profi coding, you can change that because there's like 1.5 million different settings in Profi. All right, so this next setting, it was a little tricky figuring out. I had to try a whole bunch of different ways. Now, it does say here in the manual, change blade styles, hold auxiliary plus long click power, parallel or up. So what I'm finding is that you have to let all the buttons go and then click them again to constantly rotate. If you hold the auxiliary and then keep long pressing, it doesn't seem to keep switching. Hold auxiliary, long click 1. All right, now if I do it again, it doesn't seem to do it. But if I let the buttons go and hold auxiliary and go again, 1. All right, see, it won't do it twice in a row. So every time you have to kind of let everything go and then reset. So hold auxiliary 1, let go, hold auxiliary 1, let go, hold auxiliary 1. All right, and that way you can kind of swap through your different blade styles here. Now the question is, a blade style that you set in, will it save it? All right, so here's a little test. You can see we're on a rainbow blade. So off, on, it's still there. Now let's switch the font and then come back.
I'm a Jedi. Like my
Oh,
father.
so that saves. So it seems the blade style saves, but the color won't save. All right, so I mean, again, I do think it's just how it's programmed. The color does not seem to set in, but I do have other Profi 3.9 OS 7s that the color does set in. So it's all in the configuration. All right, that is a look at the Princess Leia 89Sabers Lightsaber from my good friends over at CCSabers. Again, thank you so much for sending this over for everybody to check out. I'll put a direct link and a discount code for everybody down in the description if you want to jump over there and check this out.
This is going to make a fine addition to my collection.
So let me know what you think down below in the comments, and while you're down there, do hit that like, subscribe, and notification button for all of the upcoming videos. I've got lightsabers, I've got 6-scale figures coming in, and you don't want to miss it. All right, I will see you all on the next video. Be safe and kind out there in the world. See ya.